Well, happy Monday and welcome back. Well, all right, so we've got a short little video with you today. I didn't get a lot of planting done last week, much to my chagrin. So that means I've got a lot of work to do this week. But I'm trying some new techniques, and I'm gonna share one with you today, and that's where we're gonna make some seed tape. I'm hoping it'll give me some more success with some smaller seeds like carrots and radishes. We tend to just get them clumped up so much that then when I go to thin them out, maybe I didn't pick the right ones to thin. And so my first round of carrots over there in bed 1, the area that I thin, there's no carrots there anymore. So fingers crossed we're gonna have success with making some of our own seed tape. So we'll show you that in a minute, and we're gonna show you a little tour. We've got some wins and losses like we do every single week, but you know what, that's part of gardening, and we're happy to share it with you if it helps you learn some. So let's check out the tour and then check out the experiment with making seed tape. That monstrosity is one plant, okay? So I actually left a little bit of okra on here to kind of show you. Down here towards the front, like so they're coming in everywhere. Towards the front over here, you have to be careful because these things are so prickly. Okay, now I got my gloves on because these things are mean. The leaves, if you don't know it, have kind of like these little prickly spines that stick up and they hurt pretty bad. And that's why sometimes I miss some. So like there's one there. There's one there, and I still know there's another one down here on the front unless my husband got it. But today I'm really gonna have to come in here and thin these out a lot, mostly because all this stuff that I've got going on down here needs more light. Like, look at that. That needs more light. These need more light. This one is happily producing as well. I've got a lot of picking to come out here and do this morning, but like I said, I wanted to leave some okra for you to see. But yeah, I gotta thin that out some. This little bean down here is still happy, and this one, like I said, I came along at one point and kind of chopped the center stalk to try and stimulate it to start to do in life, and in some ways it kind of looks like it, but it's also going to get a super thinning today. We've got the carrots coming in down there, but as you can see, everything needs more light over here. The sweet Texas cherry is or wild Texas cherries, still making lots of flowers, and it's going to cool off this week and be hanging out in the, you know, like in the 90s. So this too, I noticed last week after I gave my tour that this is a loofah that's hitched to a ride right here on the tomato and actually goes all the way up to there. So, and that's the top of the loofah right there. So hopefully we're gonna get something out of our loofah before it gets too chilly. But you can see the canopy underneath the okra is just crazy. So I'm gonna get that cleaned up so everything else can get just a little bit more light. Now let's see what else is going on. This mint is really coming back happy, so I'm excited about that because I miss having mint around all the time. And I need to start getting out of here and regularly trimming this because it's just gotten really crazy. Now, you know, I was so excited for tomato row, but actually I'm gonna cut all this down. I'm starting to notice some issues. Like, I don't know if you can see right here where there's like this black dots, and then the leaves start to just kind of look like kind of looks a lot to me like the black looks a little bit like a fungus, and then this right here looks kind of like blight. So for the sake of learning, I thought about you know, doing an experiment where we spray these down real heavy with baking soda and see if we can get them to recover. But otherwise I could use the bucket space, and you know, it was a good try, but I just don't think that this right here is probably a good thing. So if somebody besides me knows that there's some other remedy besides the baking soda to save these, but as you can see, it's kind of getting to be a regular thing with everybody. So that's probably going to be the finale of tomato row. But if I do spray it down with baking soda, I will come back and let you know what happened. Now this one over here doesn't seem to be suffering in the same way, so I don't know how things will go for it. This bed here is still quite happy. Oh, look at that big bumblebee right there that just came up to join us, so that's awesome. Like I said, it is cool enough now to kind of get some pollination going on. Little bee butt for you right there. So that's what's going crazy here on the fence that the bee is kind of feasting on, is the Armenian cucumber, and I've made this go out this way. I don't know if this is water or if this needs some Epsom salt, but this bed's looking pretty happy. We just need a bunch of cooler days and we're gonna have Armenians going crazy. And this is the pumpkin. Yeah, this is our happiest pumpkin. And then the zinnia keeps blooming, but I kind of miss it and don't get it until it's not looking pretty. And looks like this one bloomed as well. So here's the other side. And the zucchini is looking super happy. And I'm just letting these kind of trail out this way as well as this one. So maybe they'll get to growing. Now over here though, look, there's a mushroom coming up in my seedling. So we got 1 of 6, 1 of 6, 1 of 6, 1 of 6, 0 of 6, 1 mushroom, and none of those. So lots of replanting that I got to get done over here. Now this Armenian is also about to be a huge producer. It's trying to take over now this right here actually looks like a watermelon coming out there, but there's a bunch of my kale down there. I gotta get the weed eater out here, but I'm also kind of hoping maybe some praying mantises will come up because of this. But my leafy greens are starting to look happy. We're gonna do some cool stuff with seeds and show you that, so you'll get to see us replant the spinach over there. I got a little bit of weeding to do, and the mustard greens look happy. And look at this one. Look at this awesome pepper that has been through the ringer and chopped down. This one I think I'm actually just going to chop down again and see what happens. But look at this, how this Armenian has just taken over the back of this bed, and I love it. So there's Armenian coming out of there, and there's also the watermelon, and right here is another cantaloupe coming through. So this might get a little crazy over here for a minute, but if we actually get a bunch of fruit, I don't mind. Sadly to say, if East Mesa Urban Homestead has pumpkins left, then they won, because we don't. This is the only pumpkin, and this just kind of went so fast. I don't know, again, if it was too much sun, if it got overly wet. I think everything happened to these at one time, and now they're gone. So we'll have to try pumpkins another day, and my husband is trying to see if we can remedy the constant loss of leaves over here with bringing some shade back in. So this is the sweet potato bed. So this is starting to look like it's coming to the end of its days, and we might have to come down in here and see if we've got any sweet potatoes in there. So I've seen this on several different, well, you can buy it. You can buy seeds that are already in what they call seed tape, and it's quite a bit more expensive than just buying the seeds however you buy them. But I really want to have some good success with carrots this year, and radishes, you know, those tiny seeded plants. So for this year, I'm gonna try some carrots out by making my own seed tape. So we're gonna check this out now. I'm gonna show you my little technique that I've am going to use with the flour and the water, and then next week we'll have to check back and I'll show you what they look like when they dried and when I plant them. So here's to trying out making our own seed tape. Let's check it out. Okay, so we've got some flour, some water, and we're gonna mix it up in here. And then I'm using paper towels. You could use toilet paper, you could use much longer strips of paper towels. I don't really buy paper towels much, so the ones that I had like a strip of color in the middle. So these are the strips that I'm using for this first experiment. And then I've got these marked at 3 inches, which is really about how far apart you want carrots once they're thinned. So I'm going to get these two mixed up, and then I'm going to come back and show you how I'm going to put these tiny little seeds on this to make some seed tape. So I'm going to just take the flour and dump it in here, and then I'm going to actually just make a little well for the water, and we're going to get the water poured in there. Kind of get it mixed in really good until it kind of makes a paste. So this is just equal parts water and flour. I've seen experiments where they used glue, but I don't know what goes into glue so much. So I decided that kind of a more natural approach would be to try the flour. Now this could probably use, you know, a lot more mixing up if we were going to make something like a cake. Maybe get the lumps out, but that's a really nice consistency. And here I just use like a 1/3 cup of flour and a 1/3 cup of water. So now I'm going to got my little strip here, and I'm going to just get a little bit of the flour, and I'm going to put it right here where my dot is. I'm going to get another scoop right there and right there, and then I'm going to come in and get a seed. So see, that was a lot easier to just get one and drop it right on there, and get another one and drop it on there, and another one and drop it on there. You can see that I've got a seed in each place where I've got my flour gel, and now I'm just going to fold this over and like that. Now I really, after I did that, I think that I should put my seed a little bit more over here as opposed to right in the middle, but I'm going to set this over here under a bowl to kind of help it keep its crease, and then maybe we'll go ahead and dry. So this time we'll do it a little bit different. We'll use the mark as a guide. So I'm going to get some of my glue, my flour glue, and put it right there in the middle. Put it right there. I'm going to get another daub and drop it right there, kind of in the middle of the strip. And then I'm going to get just a seed there, and I'm going to drop it right here in my flour. Come back over, get another seed, put it right there. Yeah, there you go. And then I'm going to get one more seed and put it right there. So now this should fold over a little bit better without doing it on the exact crease, and then just kind of the stickiness should keep it together a little bit better. And then we'll just let this dry out, and I've got a bunch more to do but that's the basics of it. We're just going to let these dry out, and then these will be the little strips that we use to plant in our garden. I hope you enjoyed my little tour and my cross your fingers experiment with seed tape. Tomorrow, when those dry out, I'll work on slowly getting them moved out into the garden. So when I do that, I'll film a little bit of that to show you what the next step is. That way, in case you want to try it. But fingers crossed, we're going to have a bumper crop of carrots. And so thanks so much for whenever you get a chance to come back to our channel. And I hope that you always find something useful. And I hope you have the best day ever. And until next time.